In the ocean, there's a lot of things that can happen, and a lot of times it is things that we can sometimes never expect. And one of the latest to emerge all over the news is about a group of men who took on the risk to join an expedition so that they could go and see the wreckage of the Titanic. It is said that about 90 minutes into the descent of the submersible, with the men on board, signal was immediately lost and couldn't be recovered. At this time, I do not have all the details of how this happened or if it was an electrical failure with the submersible. But what I do know is that the search for the missing men on board has been going on for a couple of days, and there's even a possibility of going into over a week now, depending on when you come across this video. If the men were still alive when they lost signal, the oxygen on board was said to be able to last for about 4 days, but would still depend on how limited they were using the supply. But what I want to cover really in this video is how surrounding vessels, including cruise ships, will assist and respond in the efforts of locating and finding these missing travelers at sea. Just to be clear, it is not the duty of the cruise ships to find and recover or participate in the rescue of any third-party vessels at sea, but there are still some things that they could do to sometimes assist with the efforts made by those who are in search of the Titanic submersible. So I will explain to all of you who are watching this video right now on what to expect in this situation if cruise ships are sailing nearby the suspected area where the submersible is said to have lost signal and went missing. But just before we begin, I am asking you kindly to become a supporter of the channel by clicking that subscribe button below, as my goal will be to continue bringing you the valuable tips, tricks and advice you will need for a successful cruise vacation. So please don't hesitate to subscribe if you want to keep seeing new weekly videos about cruising. Alright, let's continue. Now, one of the first steps of things a cruise ship will do if they ever come into a situation near a rescue effort out at sea is, for one, if they see anything that could be a sign of the wreckage, is to first alert the Coast Guard or any local authorities. The immediate priority for a cruise ship in this scenario would be to do this if they cannot intervene directly. The cruise ship will be equipped with extensive communication systems and can swiftly inform Coast Guards about any abnormal activities caught at sea. The cruise crew on the bridge, such as the captain and his cadets, will most likely provide precise details regarding the location of where they are if they are still in the vicinity of the suspected missing submersible. At this point of this recording, it has been stated that there would be no chance of any survivors to be currently on board the Titan submersible, and the passengers on board would most likely run out of oxygen by now. But there is still a possibility that the submersible could in fact appear afloat somewhere drifting in the ocean. This is why most likely cruise ships will be on the lookout if they can for any suspected object floating at sea that could give signs to be the Titan submersible. So by quickly alerting the maritime authorities and providing the precise details about the location of the submersible, if it is seen by any cruise ships, then in this case, the cruise ship can act as a crucial link in the chain of the recovery operations. Now, the next thing a cruise ship can do to assist in the recovery efforts of the submersible is to initiate a search operation for themselves, and they will do this if they see it to fit the need to do so at the time. The reasons why they would do this is if they are sometimes asked to by the local authorities, as sometimes coast guards will reach out to nearby vessels such as cruise ships to keep an eye out in the open waters and conduct any nearby surface level search operations. If the cruise ship has spotted any signs of floating debris on top of the water that could in any sense be similar or match the description of the missing craft, they would have some form of obligation to drop their rescue boats to go ahead and investigate to possibly save any life if they can. We all understand that by now this may seem very optimistic to expect people to still be alive on board the submersible, but we have to take into account that there are many factors at play here, and anything can really still be possible until there is an official reporting. So a cruise ship will try their best to assist in any rescue operations if they are confident they have spotted the missing vessel. Now, another thing that a cruise ship could do as well is to coordinate with any other nearby vessels in assisting with any recovery efforts. Collaborating with other live vessels at sea can play a vital role in any search and recovery efforts that could potentially assist local authorities in the search of the missing vessel. The cruise ship can easily establish communication with nearby vessels such as cargo ships, fishing boats, and coast guards. By joining forces together, these vessels can form a unified search effort, pooling resources together and sharing vital information with each other. I don't want to go into too much detail on how this can work, but if you want to know how cruise ships can coordinate with each other in a time of rescue, I will be sure to cover that in the next video. So subscribe if you want to see that. But this is one of the efforts they can utilize to cover more ground and in real time transmit information back and forth between each other. Another thing I must mention is that cruise ships are equipped with onboard radar systems that could potentially detect abnormalities out at sea and near their vessels. So this can come in handy especially for when there are missing vessels out in the ocean, such as the Titan Submersible. Cruise ship radars are built to possess the capability to detect any unusual objects or signal in the water. It is to be noted that cruise ship crew do actively monitor their radar signals and can assist massively in the search for any potential traces of the missing submersible. I just also want to add that even though cruise ships may have powerful radars to detect objects at sea near the water surface, the range and accuracy of the radar can vary depending on multiple factors that can sometimes interrupt the efforts of any search and recovery, and these can include bad weather conditions, the current state of the sea, and the size of the submersible they are looking for. I know a lot of you guys who watch my videos are people who love to cruise, but I figured it would be a very informative topic to cover on what to expect from your favorite cruise lines on how they can assist in these scenarios and what the bridge crew could be doing to help in this situation. So this video is basically to shed some light on what to expect from a cruise line if they so decided to join the efforts in spotting and recovering the missing vessel. So if you appreciate what cruise lines do on a daily basis, then just drop a like to show your support for this video. Alright, let's move on to the next thing that cruise ships could do to help in this situation. One of the most important things they could do as well is to keep their onboard passengers informed of the situation and announce what their efforts will be in assisting local authorities and the coast guards. So if you are on board during this time and your cruise ship is sailing near the zone of where the suspected missing submersible is expected to be located, then you can expect regular PA announcements over the intercom coming from the cruise ship staff and captain informing you of what their roles may be in this situation. Conducting regular PA announcements can also be a crucial step in maximizing the number of eyes and ears on board a cruise ship to be on the alert and lookout while they are on the open decks for any objects out in the ocean that can be a sign of the missing submersible. The ship's captain and crew members will publicly address the entire ship community and fully keep them up to date and inform them of the situation. Using these public announcements, you can expect various news reports and emphasis for everyone on board to remain vigilant and be on the lookout for the missing vessel. As long as a cruise ship is sailing near the vicinity of a search operation out at sea, they will try their best to render some form of aid to nearby vessels that are currently operating during these times. The cruise ship can further utilize their search and rescue equipment such as lifeboats, rescue boats, and inflatable rafts. These are just some of the resources you can expect to be deployed in a strategic way to help expand the search area, as well as they may focus on a potential search grid provided by the coast guards and local authorities. Cruise ships do not intervene directly if it doesn't feel the need to do so, but if it can offer assistance, then it will most likely participate in some way or another. So all in all, at this time, it will be a huge maritime effort to completely retrieve the missing submersible. So don't be surprised that your favorite cruise line will join in on the efforts in doing so. If you've enjoyed the information from this video, I'm now asking you to leave a like and comment below if there's anything else you'd like to add to this topic. I'd like to hear what you have to say. Also, watch my next video that you may see here on the screen. It's Onik, your cruise employee, and I'm out.